For more on this story, let's now bring in CTV's Kamil Karamali live in the national newsroom. Hi, Kamil. So what do we know so far about these raids conducted by Mexican officials and their possible connections to Ryan Wedding?
Yeah, that's right. The raid by Mexican authorities recovered or were able to retain dozens of motorcycles. We're also talking about 2 cars, marijuana, meth, as well as ammunition and documents as well. And so what we know in this press release is that Mexican authorities in this raid in Mexico City and the surrounding areas did not name Ryan Wedding by name. We know that at the same time there has been a continent-wide manhunt for Ryan Wedding and his associates. As you mentioned, the press release only said that it is linked to the raid itself is linked to a former Olympic athlete who is among the 10 most wanted fugitives by U.S. authorities, and only saying the former athlete is a foreign national is linked to transnational criminal activities. And we also know at the same time Wedding is a former Olympic snowboarder competing in Utah in 2002. So really narrowing it down leaves only Wedding as the person that Mexican authorities are referring to here. We also know that authorities have alleged he is the head of a criminal enterprise shipping tons of cocaine annually into Canada, and that once again Mexican, Canadian and U.S. authorities have been working in unison to try and put an end to his alleged criminal activities related to the distribution and sale of drugs. But once again, this seizure from multiple Mexican properties, we're talking about 62 high-end motorcycles, 2 vehicles, as I mentioned, meth and marijuana, works of art, ammunition, documents, and then 2 Olympic medals as well. And it's not known who these Olympic medals belong to, because we know that Ryan Wedding himself, even though he did participate in the 2002 Winter Olympics, he did not hit the podium or reach the podium. And so we had a chance, CTV News had a chance to speak to multiple former FBI agents who said that the fact that Mexican authorities did not say if any associates were listed as arrested in relation to the raid, that they may have received, or people in those buildings or those structures that were raided may have received a heads up, as Ryan Wedding has in the past before a raid has taken place. We know that Wedding is allegedly under the protection of the Sinaloa cartel, a very powerful and well-known criminal organization in Mexico. So previously FBI have hinted that Wedding himself is getting a heads up through his connections through the Sinaloa cartel, that every time there is a raid, he is getting a heads up enough to leave the premises, and maybe that's the case for his associates as well. What will be gained from this? Well, we had a chance to speak to a former FBI agent as well as other multiple experts related to how Mexican authorities might use what they gather in this raid to maybe lead to an arrest, the arrest of Ryan Wedding. Have a listen to this.
There may be fingerprints there. There may be some other way to identify him within the buildings that they are searching. And then someone is going to come up with the right tip at the right time. And so following up on all the stuff they have, waiting for the right tip, interviewing more and more people around these different locations they've searched, are going to come up at some point with a good location for Wedding.
And so once again, even though Mexican authorities did not highlight whether there were any associates of Weddings that were arrested, and no arrest of Ryan Wedding himself, this may be a crucial step that might lead to something like that. We also know, just driving this case home even further, that an Ontario court this week granted bail to Deepak Paradkar. He's the defense lawyer in Toronto alleged to have counseled Wedding to carry out multiple or at least a murder where Paradkar has denied any wrongdoing. And we have also reached out to FBI and RCMP, and so far they're saying right now they can't release any additional information than anything more than that has been already released by the Mexican authorities in that press release. Back over to you.
All right, we'll leave it at that for the moment then. CTV's Kamil Karamali live in the national newsroom. Kamil, thank you for this update.